Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock. We are here on YouTube. We are here on Facebook, coming at you live as we do each and every single Tuesday to talk about all things building on your land. I'm Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, joined as I am each and every single week, week in, week out, sometimes twice a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. Just depends on our schedules, okay? Dawn Dantzler. Dawn Dantzler's here. Hello, Dawn.
Hi, Eric. How's it going?
Going great. It is going awesome. We are so grateful you folks are joining us. Jump in, folks. We are going to talk about all things building a home on your land. We are here to talk about construction. We're here to talk about site preparation. We're here to talk about customization, financing, anything you have to, utilities, anything you can possibly think about that you have questions about building a home on your land. We're here to talk about that. So we are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Please jump into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. That's why we do this show, is to increase the familiarity for you with the process and just remove some of those unknowns that people read about on the internet, that when you're building a house, all the hidden costs and the unknown. There doesn't have to be any unknowns. We're knocking on the door of, we're closing in on 200 episodes of these. So there's really no excuse anymore why you are not familiar with this process. Anyway, but please jump in. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. Maybe you're just getting started and thinking about doing this. Maybe, maybe your house got damaged in a storm recently, or the water's a little higher than it used to be on your street because, I don't know, more houses went in and more impervious cover, which is fancy engineering words for concrete and stuff that doesn't soak up water. So if you're a little concerned about that and that's not someplace you want to be, great news. You have options, especially if you're in Texas, because it's really big and there's a lot of fairly inexpensive land relative to other parts of the country. I know that my grandfather would roll over in his grave if he knew what I paid for acreage where I am now, but that will probably be the case 50 years from now with me. So anyway, folks, that's why we're here, though. We want you to jump in and tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you're in, and ask all of your questions while Dawn tells us what in the world we're going to be talking about today, because it's actually something that is long anticipated, long awaited, and it's finally here.
I know you guys are all excited. I'm excited. I'm always excited when we get to share a customer home with you guys, but I am extremely excited to be able to share the first Brazoria tour that we have. It is the most requested home tour that we get. So very excited to share this beautiful home with you guys. And it's a gorgeous Brazoria farmhouse out in Bosque County. Just a great, great home. I will also say, right as we started, the landscapers decided that they needed to mow all the common areas around my house. So my dogs are reminding you that they exist and I do not live alone. So you may hear the song of all three of them singing to their people. But so sorry about that, folks. We'll try to get through.
Well, and if that's the case, you may hear thunder outside of mine, because it's getting it on out there. It is very, very, very loud, and been raining quite a bit, which is great. I mean, I've never seen our place this green at this point of July. Like that's insane and really, really cool. The grass is like going bonkers out there.
Yeah, on the one hand, very grateful for all the rain. Wish it would come with a little bit less violence. Like we could.
It doesn't have to be as announced. It doesn't have to be as announced. Yeah,
we can see it's falling from the sky. You don't have to make as much noise about it.
Right. We were like being old people the other day, watching it rain, sitting on our front porch in rocking chairs. Yeah, like that actually happened. We did that, and then like it started blowing sideways.
Did you sip your tea and be like, "We need this"?
Exactly. And we both ran inside. Like, this is not a cool moment anymore. Like, okay, done. We're done with the moment. The moment's passed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have quite a few people joining us, so I'm going to jump in. We've got Misty, who says hello from Mansfield, building the San Jacinto XL in Hood County. Hey, Misty. Good to see you again.
Now we can begin the show. Misty's here.
Yes. We got Donna. Hi from Austin. Excited to see the Brazoria, but looking to build a Fredericksburg in Bell County. Awesome.
Very nice.
Also a good choice. We've got Farron. Hey, Eric and Dawn, the farmhouse guys here, Arlington C in Waller County. We have our color appointment this weekend. So excited. Went to the Sherwin-Williams store and it can be overwhelming. Yes, if you look at the entire paint deck, it can indeed be very overwhelming. We do have some suggestions to kind of narrow it down for you, but it's good that you're doing your research and getting ready for that appointment. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, walk slowly back out of that store.
Yes. We've got Jean, E and J watching from Freestone County, just getting started and met last Friday with Sydney at the Spring Model Homes.
Oh, very nice. And can I just take in a moment where we say they're watching us from Freestone County? Like that 5 years ago, that was probably not a thing in that part of the world. So I'd love to know, is it Starlink? Is it, what are we using out there? Is it 5G, ultra wideband? Who knows what it is these days? But it does blow my mind as a frequenter of the rural areas of Texas when someone says they're watching us live on video in Freestone County. Like those are things that I would have said, that's a false statement. That's not a thing. But
hey, that's why rural living is getting so much more appealing because everything's
and it is Starlink, yeah, as predicted.
Awesome. We got Denise saying afternoon from Pearland. Hoping to start our Canyon D in October in Chapel Hill.
Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, we can't wait. God, that's so close. That's like 6 weeks away. No. Sorry, 10 weeks away. Ish.
It's closer than it should be.
Close.
Closer than it should be.
Close.
Yeah. We got Troyland. Hello, watching from Sugarland. Excited to see the Brazoria. Looking to build in Sugarland, Fort Bend County.
Beautiful.
Awesome. We've got Jean Ann. So excited to see the Brazoria. Awesome. We're excited to show it to you.
Yes.
We got Ken from Elgin in the framing process, Cedar Creek D. Awesome.
Very cool.
We got Yesenia. Hey guys, Kaufman County. We are ready to schedule our first in-person appointment. We will build the Canyon C as a 4-bedroom. Awesome.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Let's do this thing. We got David. I live in Maico, but sooner rather than later, we'll be moving to San Saba. Just completed our soil sample and waiting on results. Tilson family is the best. Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
Let's see. Donna says she's excited to see Misty San Jacinto XL at some point too. It sounds intriguing. Yes, I really want to see it too. It's coming down to being finished, and yeah, we're really excited about it. Looks great. We got Meredith here in Bosque County, watching from the Brazoria V that y'all are touring today. Thank you so much for sharing your home with us. We are
Thank you.
excited
Yes.
to premiere the
Super
video. Then we've got Jean saying, questions. Have you ever installed point-of-use hot water heaters at sinks? And does Tilson have any solid surface materials to use in the bathroom showers instead of using ceramic tile?
Okay, so we have, yes, on the point-of-use water heaters at sinks. For me, it is one more device that is going to need maintenance. So to me, it's worth the 30 seconds to a minute that you may have to wait to push the cold water through. Another option would be a circulation pump that's on a timer. We've also done those. The problem we see with a lot of the point of use water heaters is they have to be electric, first of all, because they're located under a sink. They can't be a gas appliance, and they don't get as hot as some people want. So that might be a limiting factor there. They either don't get hot enough, or you don't have enough pressure because you'll have only the hot water all the way on, if that makes sense. So typically, if you're taking a shower or something or washing your hands, you have a mix of hot and cold, right? A lot of them don't produce enough gallons per minute, which is how the discharge of a faucet's measured. They don't produce enough gallons per minute at the 107 degrees or whatever it's called. So you end up running it only by itself, which means you're not going to have all that pressure. Does that make sense? So you get the cold water and the hot water on, you're going to have more pressure because you have two valves partially open, dumping water through the faucet. But you don't have, a lot of people don't have that because it doesn't get hot enough. So something to consider. And then I think we could, we've done some thinner, what am I trying to think of? Like engineered quartz, things like that on shower surrounds. We do have some suppliers that can do that. Dow Tile can supply and do a version of that. And I think actually our granite and quartz installer have done a couple of those. So it doesn't have to be ceramic tile. We do the cultured marble was a thing a long time ago. We haven't done that in years that I'm aware of, but it's kind of gone away. But there are some thinner quartz materials that can be done.
And that's going to be just the walls though, because we still want to do tile on the floor just for grip.
Yeah, grip and just the flexibility of size. So it needs to slope to the drain, right? That's one thing. And then, grip is extraordinarily important. That's why we won't go bigger than I think a 3x3 on a shower floor, because we want to have enough grout where you have a solid footing when it's wet.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We've got Michaela saying hi from Kaufman County. Hey,
What's
Michaela.
up, Michaela?
We got Lacey saying hi from Waco. So
Hey,
excited!
Lacey.
So now we have 2 of the 3 video stars in this broadcast. So yeah, excited to show off this house. We got Joylyn saying hello from Pleasanton, Texas. Question: do the closet walls get painted the same color as the interior walls?
Great question, Jolene. Typically not. No, we are typically painting them whatever color of your trim is. The reason is because we're in there with that kind of like an enamel paint, a shinier paint for all the shelving that goes into the closet. So between all the shelving that's in the closet and then the baseboard and everything like that and the door casing on the inside, it just makes more sense to spray the whole thing with that same paint. And so it's brighter typically too, because the closets are smaller spaces and historically that's a darker space.
Right.
They aren't as brightly lit. They don't have windows of any kind like a bathroom or a bedroom does. So that's the reason why we do that.
And that shinier paint also helps too, because the closet walls tend to get scuffed a lot, and that's easier to wipe off.
Yeah, shoes especially, putting shoes and boots in and out tends to put the new look on the paint.
Yeah. We got Jason saying hello again.
Hello, Jason. Welcome back.
We got Scott saying hello from Anderson County. As soon as it quits raining long enough, we can finish this driveway up and turn everything over to y'all.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I looked at the weather yesterday at our little place outside of Grapeland. It pulls up on my phone and it just says it's raining in Grapeland. I'm like, just say again.
Yeah,
it's raining in Grapeland again.
Just send me a notification when it stops. That'll be much better use of everyone's time.
Funny.
We got Misty saying Darla took pictures with her phone on Sunday and was going to send them to marketing. Okay, well, we'll be on the lookout for that. And then I know we are also, you guys were just getting ready for your final walkthrough, so we're also watching closely. We're going to send somebody out with a better camera to take some photos before you're done too.
Yes.
We've got Eric saying greetings. Hey, Eric.
Howdy.
We got Catherine, hi from Cyprus, going to build in the Cedars in Plantersville. Excited to see this house, one of our top choices.
Very cool. Yeah. Drove by there just a little bit ago.
Yesenia is asking what model close to Forney is similar to the Canyon C?
Well, Yesenia, so look, the Canyon C is worth going and see. I know the closest model we have is in Bryan of it. I know that's a drive. Look, I get it. But if you can drive there and see the actual house, I mean, it's probably a 2.5 hour run from Forney down to Bryan. Pick a weekend that's not a graduation weekend, football game weekend, and run down there and check it out. Actually, you don't have to get into College Station if you don't want to. We're on the far north side. We're in Bryan on Highway 21. You'd be coming in that way anyway, probably from Madisonville, and it's worth the trip. You know, I mean, so. Otherwise, there's really not one. I mean, I can't think of anything that's like the Canyon C that would be near Northeast Texas, so it's worth the run. It's not like driving to Bernie, it'd be a really, really long way. And I get it. To me, 2.5 hours is nothing. But to see the exact house you're wanting to see, Yesenia, I would just encourage you to go check it out.
Yeah. I just think the other ones just aren't, the ones that are in the area just are not the same, because probably the closest is the Whitney, but it's not. It's not the same. It's just not. Let's see. We've got Ro saying hi from the doors. We are building Tampico D here in Van Zant County. It was scheduled for foundation pour tomorrow, but because of all the rain, rescheduled to next week. We are so excited. Oh, that is exciting. We got Farron asking on the contract question for the contract side of things, we're going to put in our own appliances. We'll have them installed by buying them separately. And there was something about insurance we needed to provide commercial something, or if we didn't, y'all supplied it. And it was like a certain amount per $1,000. We were just confused about that part of the process.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive, Farron, for us to do that. I mean, and what it comes down to is, so when we're controlling all the trades and it's all, it's kind of covered under our blanket insurance. When the homeowner's doing it with their own trade, we don't know is it, Buddy's Appliances, Joe's Appliances, one of the big box stores. And if they damage something in the home during an installation, I know that seems crazy, but I swear I've seen some instances where I think that the appliance installer sat with his back against the cabinets and leg pressed the dishwasher into place. Like, people do crazy things. So that's why it's how does that something, or if something doesn't get hooked up properly, water line, for example, on a dishwasher, and that leaks and floods the wood floors and they have to be replaced. That's what that is for. And so it's to cover those kinds of crazy instances that never happen, that happen all the time. So none of them are the end of the world. It's just planning ahead of time.
All right. We got Gina saying that Cunningham's B County building a Brazoria C. Awesome. And we've got Catherine, the canyon in Bryan is beautiful, so worth the drive.
Agreed. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Yesenia says, thank you. We will do that and go visit that. And yeah, Kathy also agrees. Go see it. Yesenia, you'll be glad you did. It is gorgeous.
She's like, okay. I got
it. And Jason's saying, we went to Waco this weekend to look at the Angelina again. On the way, we stopped in Bryan to look at the canyon. Impressive home, but a bit too large for us. Hope the staff got the AC fixed. Oh,
yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got that called in and touched up.
Yep.
It's always something.
All righty. Well, let's get into the home that everybody.
All right, yeah, folks, keep dropping your questions into the chat. We want to hear from you. But yeah, Dawn's going to walk us through this beautiful home. So let's get going.
All right. So we're talking about the Brazoria, which is, one of our newer plans and is also, as I mentioned, our most requested plan for tours, because it is actually right now our number 3 seller in the portfolio. So it is the 3rd most popular home that we sell, which is pretty impressive since we don't have a model technically. It is an updated version of our Magnolia plan. So you can see that model in Katie. What the Brazoria is really kind of the most popular changes that were being made to that plan. So just looking to modernize it and give it a little bit of a different feel. So there are 4 exterior elevations available on the plan. So you've got the elevation A, which is kind of a traditional brick gable home. You've got the elevation B, which is your craftsman. So it's going to have your siding with composite post and your brick wainscot happening on it. You've got elevation C, the farmhouse, which is really the quintessential traditional farmhouse. This is what I always think of when I hear farmhouse, is you've got the 3 dormers, the huge front porch, your board and batten siding, all of that happening. And then it also has the elevation D, which our drafting team refers to as a Texas ranch. I don't know if they made that term up because I can't find it anywhere else, but it is stone. It's a combination of stone, wood accents, and board and batten siding. So those are what we have available.
All things you might find laying around on a Texas ranch. Perhaps that's where it came from.
Yes. So the standard base floor plan of the Brazoria, and this is the C, so you can see that huge covered porch on the front of the home, is going to be a 3-bedroom plus a study, and it's going to have 2.5 baths, and it's just a little bit over 2,000 square feet, so it comes in at 2,200 square feet, and it is, has everything that is just super popular with our customers right now that we know when they're living in a rural environment. So we've got that big wide open floor plan. Doesn't have a formal dining space because we're finding a lot of our customers don't want that anymore, but it's got a very large, generous dining area attached right to the kitchen. So open concept, kitchen, dining, family room are all together. So when cooking and holidays and all of that are happening, everybody's all together in one place. It also has something that was lacking in the Magnolia model that we saw being added a lot, which is a very generous pantry. So where what was the flex space in the Magnolia, we went ahead and changed to what was the most common option to pick for that space, which was a larger utility room and a large pantry. It is a true split bedroom plan. So your master suite is on the complete opposite side from the other bedroom. So everybody has their privacy. They are separated. You have no bedroom sharing walls in this home at all. And then you also have a study on the front of the home that's kind of separate off in its own space as well. And that has a powder room attached to it, for guests. And then we also maintained one of the other very popular things about the Magnolia, which is his and hers closets. So your stuff doesn't have to touch. And just, very, very good plan, very great space. And that's kind of why it's so popular with everybody.
For sure.
So what you're going to see that the family kind of changed, they did a couple of things on the exterior, which is they wanted to be a little bit different from the cedar header that kind of comes standard in the plan. So they took the cedar header off of the door and took it out of the dormers. And in the dormers, they replaced it with wood brackets, accent pieces. And then the other thing that you're going to see, they did put a wood-burning fireplace into the home, which means we needed to put a chimney on it because the smoke's got to go somewhere. So that's all you're really going to see that change on the outside of the house. And then on the inside, it's going to look like they changed a lot, but it's really mostly done through our custom options. And look, and I don't know if Eric can advance my slides, if he's frozen or if I'm frozen. Eric lost power. So let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I'm going to try to find the presentation, folks, so I can continue, and hopefully he can join us when he has a chance. But bear with me because I'm flying solo for a second. Of course, the one time that I don't have it queued up on my side as well, I end up losing Eric. So let me grab this real quick. All right, so on the floor plan on the inside, like I said, there's a lot of red here that looks like they changed a lot of things. Most of it is done with our custom options. So while it looks like a lot of red, it's really just that we started shifting things around when they started choosing things. But their final home maintained the 3 bedrooms plus the study. They do have 2 full baths plus 2 half baths because they added that upstairs bonus space, which puts in its own half bath upstairs. And the house is just a little bit under 3,000 square feet that they built at the end. So the first thing you're going to notice is they did reverse the floor plan just to make it fit a little bit better on their lot and for their needs. So that's the main change that you're going to see. Everything is on the opposite side of the house. The other thing they did is over in this other bedroom area. Hi, Eric. Over here where they have the bedrooms for their children, they did go ahead and do the Jack and Jill bath option over on that side so that the boys have their own sink area that is separate from the shower and commode so they can get ready while still have sink access while someone's in the shower or using the other facilities. The third thing that they did on the inside is, the plan comes with this space for a freezer, and they actually wanted to put in a fridge as well. So what they did, usually there would be a door here between the utility room and the pantry. They removed that and just did a sheetrock opening and then put a barn door out at the dining area to kind of shut off that clutter, but then allow them to still have those 2 appliances without a door. That would be swinging in. And then they also did a pocket door on their pantry instead of the regular door so that they wouldn't have all these doors bumping into each other. So I thought that was a very smart change that they made. They also added the extended rear porch option on their plan. So just gave them, a little bit more outdoor space to the rear of the home. And in doing that, they also added an exterior door from their master bedroom onto that porch. So they had direct access without having to go all the way through the house over to the dining area to get on the porch. They added the box beam ceilings in the family room just to bring a little bit of those outside wood elements into the interior of the home. As I mentioned before, they did also add that fireplace over here in the corner. So that's what you're seeing here. They did the alternate master bath option because the Brazoria comes with just the shower in the base plan, but you do have this option to go ahead and add that soaking tub. So they did that. Like I mentioned, they did add that upstairs bonus space, which gives us some stairs. And as a part of that process, it rearranges your closet a little bit. So I'll talk more about exactly what happened in that area when we get there. And then they also did the alternate kitchen option, including adding in a farmhouse sink and a decorative hood that you will see. Those are the changes that they made. And I'm going to go ahead and launch. Oh, sorry, upstairs.
There's a bonus room.
There's that bonus thing. Little small little thing. That bonus room that I was talking about before. They do have that whole space, which, like I mentioned, came with its own powder room. And then another change that they did make is in the layout for the bonus room. This wall here that's coming up from the stairs is actually a half wall, so you can kind of look over. They did go ahead and extend that all the way to the ceiling, so this is a more private space for them, and then just gave them a little bit more wall space to hang things on. And that's it. Just a few things. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the front of the video tour, and then we'll circle back and answer your questions.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Tilson Tours. My name is Lacey. We're here in Bosque County. I'm here with Tony and Meredith Hinojosa, and we're going to talk about their Brazoria C plan and what they did. Okay, let's talk about the exterior. We did a beautiful farmhouse look with the 3 dormers, and we added the brackets over that. Tell me kind of why you chose that color and the style and what you were thinking.
Well, we went with the color because you see a lot of black and white houses, and we kind of wanted to separate from that and just be a little different. So we went with a darker color, almost a grayish color, just to kind of get away from that cookie cutter look.
And then we did the dark cedar posts and the dark door so that it kind of really had that contrast in there.
Kind of gave it your own look. That way you didn't have to be like everybody else. You have your own design.
Same thing with the brackets,
Yeah.
So we replaced the brackets with...
Or the panel with the brackets.
Yeah, we replaced the panels with the brackets so that it just looked a little bit better instead of just one piece of wood across.
I love that look. It looks really great, guys. Let's talk about your kitchen. Look at this beautiful space. It just came together so perfectly. I love the contrast of the white and the dark tone in the countertop. Tell me your design and your reason behind that.
Well, we chose the open concept because she likes to have room to cook. You know, this is her area. We both do a little cooking, so we went with the bigger countertop so we both have room. And she kind of chose the rest for that side of it.
So I really like the wooden vena hood. It just really gives it that farmhouse look that matches the outside with the inside. The dark countertops in contrast with the cabinets. And then we also have the barn door over here that will tie into our living room that we'll see in a few minutes. And I really love the backsplash. When I first walked in after the backsplash, that was the first time where I was like, wow, I really love that. That was the first thing that went into the house where I just was like, okay, it's coming together now.
Yes, it gives it a pop. I really enjoy seeing the darker grout with the backsplash. It's beautiful and makes a great statement.
I was a little iffy when we were picking it, but he was like, let's just go with it. So I was like, okay. And I mean, it really makes it such a difference.
I'm so glad y'all are happy with it. I love it too. It's beautiful. I love how you took the light fixture from the dining area and we put it here at the kitchen. Ended up doing the recessed lighting over there at the dining, just so you have the space and you kind of create where you want the table to be. That was a really good idea when we were planning together.
Yes, we loved having the chandelier moved to the central part of the kitchen so that it really kind of stood out and ties all the room together.
Yeah. And you've got the farmhouse sink, which is gorgeous. It looks really nice here. And then you have your built-ins, which you did a gas cooktop, which is phenomenally looking right here. Love your built-ins. It's just a great space to entertain. You've got a lot of natural light in here. You can see your wildlife outside. It's beautiful. Y'all want to go take a look at the living room?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful home. And I do like that they went a little bit different from the traditional white and black farmhouse and did that gray as that little pop of color. It just looks gorgeous. And you've got that huge front porch there that you can just, sit back and relax on. And just, to me, like I said, that to me is the quintessential farmhouse. That's what I think when you're talking about is the huge, huge front porch. So
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
Really love this plan. And then this is the back of the house, which we'll get to later, but just to kind of show you that they've continued, the same color and same wood accents on the back. And then you can see that they do have that bonus room up there. So that's what these windows are. And then in the kitchen, I am going to I really love this backsplash. You don't see even this size of wall tile a lot in a backsplash anymore. I just really like it. It is quite a statement with something it's so simple, but made such a statement on that of having that gray backsplash with the darker grout. I really love it too. And I love
the dark countertop and the barn door, like it really all.
Yeah, it just all goes together so well, and it's just very classic, but yet a statement, at the same time. Just really love it, and so much cabinetry, in this space. And then like they were talking about, by doing the alternate kitchen, you separated the cooktop from the oven, so that's over on its own wall with the microwave, and it just gives you lots of space to, just make a mess when cooking, which is what I usually do, and just got all that storage and everything. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful home. And we talked about how they went with the decorative vent hood, and then that's that barn door that I was talking about that they use to kind of section off that pantry utility room. So whatever's happening in that room, we don't need to know about it. Doesn't matter. We just slide that shut, and plenty of dining space. This is a 6-person table, and you could easily add chairs at the end of it too, and make it 8 people. So just a great, beautiful space. And then I also want to know, since you are watching, I'm super impressed that the mat at the sink for the tension matched so well with the floor. Props for that. That looks great.
And going back to that dining space, that door, and we see this more and more, that door actually swings out onto the porch, so you have all of that space. It doesn't swing in onto that mat, so that's really nice.
Yep. Yeah, so it's great. But I know that we have several questions, so I'm going to go.
And I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad you're here too. It's
still thunder, so I make no promises.
It's much better when you're here. So please try not to leave me again.
I'll fire up the phone if worse comes to worse.
All right, well, let's see. We have Yolanda asking, what is the purpose of the soil sample?
Oh, great question. Yeah, so we do a geotechnical investigation on the side of every home that we build. So we call it a geotechnical investigation because on 80% of them, we do an actual soil sample. So they go out, they do they drill down with 3-inch bore, 15, 20 feet. Typically, we like to do 2 of them inside the footprint of the home. So a lot of builders will do it in the ditch off the side of the road, or they'll use one soil sample for an entire county or entire subdivision. We don't do that. We want to know, our engineers want to know exactly the type of soil that this house is going to be sitting on, and in 2 different places, because soil types are that variable in Texas. They just are. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places they really are. About 20% of the time, maybe we're building on rock. That's what we call a geotechnical investigation. We go out there, we scrape, we see that it's solid rock. We are not going to drill down 15 to 20 feet to ensure that it's rock. It's rock. So, but in most cases, we're doing what you're doing, especially in Kaufman County. And then from that, the engineer determines how that soil is going to behave, broadly speaking. Okay, so during extreme rainy seasons, during extreme droughts, normal times, what's it doing 80% of the time? How does it respond to excess moisture? How does it respond to lack of moisture? To make sure that they use that and then design the foundation system that's going to stand up to those soil conditions. So that's why you'll see sometimes maybe they make the beams a little bit deeper or a little bit wider, or add additional beams inside, or maybe do the cable spacing a little bit differently on the post-tension cables. So they really do use that to determine the design of the foundation system. So how it, it has a high plasticity index, low plasticity index. Does it move around a lot? Does it get big cracks in it? Does it have a lot of upward heave or center lift, edge lift? All kinds of little things they're looking at. Will the middle of the house go up, or the edges of the house go up? Those are things they're looking at on the soil sample. So it's to ensure, in short, it's to ensure a high performing foundation system for your home.
Okay. And Yesenia's officially bowed to peer pressure, and she's going to go. And we have Ivan asking, what is the advantage for the slab to be on the select field dirt, build a pad, or have piers under the slab quality-wise and price?
Okay, so we're talking about, great question, Ivan. So there's he asked a couple of different ways here to do it. Typically, if we are building a pad, if we're having to haul dirt in, if we're not using dirt from on site, it is going to be select fill, which I think is what you meant. So it's just kind of a reddish sand and clay mix. You don't want 100% clay, you don't want 100% sand, because sand doesn't hold beams. If you ever try to dig a ditch at the beach, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of collapses in on itself, and at the same time, clay tends to hold water, so we don't want that. So you do a mix of the two. That's what select fill is. It is a blend of sand and clay, so that it has some staying power of clay, but it also has some percolation properties where moisture can move through it of sand. We don't see piers used a lot anymore because of doing the geotechnical investigation. They'll typically just widen and or deepen the actual beams or the concrete that's going between all the little pads of dirt. There are still some instances where we see hard points done or some level of piers, but it's very, very rare. Piers were kind of a thing for a time that they did for repairing foundations, but then also when they didn't know really what was going to be down there, they just kind of threw some real expensive piers in there and hoped it worked. We don't find that to be an effective strategy. So price wise, I mean, a compacted dirt pad made out of select fill is typically going to be the highest price because, and the reason for that, it's not that the house is any better built or anything like that, but the hauling in of that material. Diesel costs a lot of money. Anytime you're involving equipment, so large, heavy dump trucks and excavators and bulldozers, things like that, it costs money. It costs money to mobilize those things. It costs money to fuel them, drive them on the roads, insure them, and drivers are not cheap. Those are specialized drivers, believe it or not. They actually do have CDLs, commercial driver's licenses, and the operators of the equipment, they're specialized, right? So it's going to be more, but if you're wanting to build it up significantly higher, or that's a good way to do it. In a lot of cases, we can actually use either the fill from on site, like a cut and fill kind of situation, because we're typically going to go down through the pad anyway. With the engineer is going to want the embedment of those beams, the concrete, to be in what they call virgin soil or undisturbed soil. So the natural, you want your whole slab sitting on the same type of material. You don't want half of it sitting on select fill and half of it sitting on the natural ground that's out there, natural dirt that's out there, because they're going to react differently to moisture and lack of moisture. And you don't want the two soils behaving differently because the slab is solid. So that's a problem. But that's really why. I mean, I would say a compacted pad built 100% out of select fill is going to be the most expensive route. And then it kind of steps down from there. You don't have to do a pad on every home that we build. We do a slab on grade in a lot of situations. Pads are very popular in North Texas. That is something that's done pretty regularly up there. Not nearly as regularly done in the hill country at all, because you have more extreme out of levels. So those are usually cut and fill of some sort. And then the Gulf Coast is kind of a blend of the two.
Yeah, kind of a mix. All right. We've got Troylin asking, what are the top 2 selling homes? So that is going to be the Angelina and the Canyon, and they kind of do this depending on the month, week, and day. Those are the 2 most popular. We've got Farron saying, thanks for that answer, Eric. That explains it. If you don't mind a follow up, what is the type of insurance we need to buy for this, or do we just use the fee that you offer?
I would just let us do the fee. You're not going to find it cheaper than we can buy it, quite frankly, because we're doing it on 300 homes at one time, probably in one phase or another. So yeah, I wouldn't even fool with it. It's going to make your insurance agent very nervous when you call him or her up and start asking. He's like, "What are you doing?
What you doing?"
So I would say just on an appliance one especially. It's going to be exceptionally inexpensive.
All right. Catherine is asking how much square feet for the bonus room.
Okay, I looked at it. Added 507 square feet, and then depending on where you're building, the price will vary, but it's about $75,000 to $80,000 for that. And that's the staircase. That's the whole 9 yards. Everything's done. AC system,
that extra bathroom, all of that.
All of it, yeah.
All right. Gina is asking, the front porch post, can we delete the decorative pieces at the top of the post that meets the ceiling? Yes, you can.
No problem.
Lisa is saying, absolutely love it. Can't wait. I knew you were going to be excited, Lisa. I'm so glad you're here. We've got Richard asking, are there plans in the future for Tilson to go to zip system or something similar, or will you continue to stick with the traditional house wrap?
I'm glad you asked. We could change at one point. We've actually used it before. It's an okay product. It's actually a good product if applied properly. We are concerned with the tape, and we get concerned with the adhesive properties of it when it's left on a job site. It's building apartments, or if you're in a subdivision where all the roads are already in, and it's concrete roads and concrete driveways, and material can be staged there and doesn't get dirt all over it. It's a good product. However, that's not what we're typically building. The other thing I prefer of a tie-back or a house rep type of system, which we use, is that it shingles over itself. Zip does not. Zip butts top, bottom, left, right. And so it has no shingled properties. So when I say by shingle, I hope it makes sense. Shingles are laid starting from the edge of the roof up, right? So that every shingle lays on top of the other shingle and water sheds over top of that. Tyvek is done the same way. It goes on top of itself. In fact, I know 2 of the zip systems that we've built, we went back and wrapped them with house wrap because we weren't satisfied with it. We went back after a rainstorm and saw the water had penetrated, went back and wrapped it with house wrap. So we just did both. And you're not supposed to have to do that.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest aversion to it, is that it doesn't, and it's a very simple thing, shingling, but it is extremely important with water mitigation. And we're not as comfortable with it as we are with the water mitigating properties of a house wrap.
Okay, that makes sense. Lubin is asking, can you have your own engineer design your slab?
No, ma'am. Or no, sir. Sorry. Not a thing. Unfortunately, we've been using this company for a very, very long time. We are exceptionally comfortable with them and their designs. They do not cut corners. Not to say that yours would, but it is, and they actually join us in the structural warranty. I mean, they're on the hook for it as well. And that's something that's really, really important to us. Everything is great until something goes wrong. Right. That's when you need that warranty. And for us, the warranty is not nearly as important as the people that are behind the warranty. And so that's just an area that we're not flexible on. And I hope it's understandable, but these folks do like forensic testimonies and things like that all over the country. I mean, they're out of Austin, Texas. They have done probably over 600,000 foundations. And so they are who we are comfortable with hitching our wagon to, so to speak.
Okay, makes sense. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead. I do see that we have more questions and we will get to them, but I want to make sure that everybody gets to see the house that they came to see. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up the video for the family room and the master bedroom.
Oh my goodness, I love your living room. Look at the beautiful box beams and your fireplace. This just has a really nice pop with a ledger stone going all the way to the ceiling. Tell me guys, what do y'all love best about this room?
I like the box beams. When I first thought about putting them in, or when she talked about it, I was a little iffy. But when I first came in and I saw that they were up, I was like, wow, I'm gonna like it. I'm really gonna like that.
The stain looks really nice.
It looks
the
really
contrast
good.
Color, yeah. What was your favorite part?
And that tied in with the mantle.
Yes.
And I love that we did the hearth that has the same stone as our kitchen cabinets or kitchen countertops. So that all ties in. But I really love the big windows. I mean, the whole wall of windows. You can sit in here in the morning. You can see the deer come up. It's just a nice space. It's homey, it's cozy. I'm ready to try out the fireplace in the winter.
Yes, wait for cool weather for that. It's beautiful in here and it is so open and spacious. I really do love the way it all laid out and is put together. It's gorgeous. Hey guys, want to go look at the master bedroom?
All right, this way.
Oh my goodness, I love your master bedroom. It's so light and airy, and I love that you have a king size bed here. There's plenty of space. And then we added that structural element of having the door go up to the patio. That was a really good design choice.
Yes, we really wanted to be able to have access to get outdoors. Eventually we want to have a pool or a hot tub so we can go straight from the bedroom, get outside. Again, the big windows here in the master bedroom. We have the perfect view for all of our wildlife. We wake up in the morning and usually we have 2 or 3 deer out there in the morning. So.
I love that. Have a cup of coffee on the patio. I love that. Beautiful, really great space. Wow, this bathroom is gorgeous. I love the his and her sinks. This looks so good how you put the cabinet here to kind of give you your separate spaces. I'm loving that. And then this view is phenomenal. I could just imagine taking a bath in there. How do y'all feel about this gorgeous bathroom?
That window, I mean, when it went up, it was like, that's gonna be an amazing space. I love getting ready in the morning, having the natural light. Even more than that, I love him having a separate sink.
Yeah.
I love you, but I don't love sharing a sink with you. And then we did the same thing, all the tile from the kitchen and the main areas, the same tile, same grout, but instead of it being the crooked, it was
like the offset position. Yes. I love the way it was laid in the offset. That's gorgeous.
And then the huge shower with the seating area, and then the tile, that's the only area that we did some different tile was in the flooring of the shower. So we thought that was just kind of a cool look to have the black tile with the black grout.
I love that herringbone style look. It's just very modern, chic, and then farmhouse look.
It just pops too.
It does.
And then the real winner is our closets,
yes,
which lead off of the bathroom, which was the reation why we chose this plan. Kind of at first, like when we were first looking through the plans, I was like, wow, look at these closets, his and her closets. I don't think that we could fill them up even if we really tried. They're just so big, so nice, lots of room for lots of shelving, lots of hanging space.
Yes, I definitely have closet envy. They have got lots of space in this house. But this is the beautiful family room that you saw, and a more up close of that fireplace. That's just beautiful. So that is a wood burning fireplace, and it's got, they did the stacked stone all the way to the ceiling, and have that beautiful mantle and the hearth that matches the granite in the kitchen. So everything's kind of calling back to each other, just like those box beams are bringing inside those cedar accents and tying in with the barn door, and just it's very cohesive. Just love it. It's just a great space.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful home. And then on the master bedroom, nice large bedroom that they've gotten here, definitely big furniture, and they've got those views out in the property. That's always something our drafting team is trying to do, is make sure we are maximizing windows, and because we know you fell in love with your land, and we want you to enjoy that view that you have of your property. So they always make sure to put nice big windows in here for everybody. And then this is that master bathroom. Like I said, this is the alternate master bath layout that gives you that soaking tub in addition to the large shower. And then you've got his and her vanities that, like Lacey was talking about, are separated by that cabinet. It's included in the layout of this bathroom. So it's nice. Everybody has their own space, and then you have a ton of storage in the middle, and you don't even have to pay attention to what the other person's got going on their state.
Demilitarized zone.
Yes, the demilitarized zone. And then you saw in the video those huge closets that they have, which they benefited a little bit from when we put in that staircase. You get all the space under the stairs as well. And then they also borrowed a little space. They didn't want the closet in their study to actually be in there, so that's actually part of the master bath, as well as a little bit of what would have been hallway if the fireplace had been on the other end of the house, actually got pulled into their closet. So they have a lot of closet space in there that it's just absolutely gorgeous. So lots and lots of storage space. So let's pick up a couple more of y'all's questions that you had, and let's see.
David rattling his jaw about the College World Series. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
So David's our videographer, guys. If you all the beautiful videography that's done, that is super edited and gorgeous, and of the customers' homes, that's David.
That's David.
Yeah. Well done, sir.
We won't talk about the College World Series.
You can't win them all, right? It would be nice to win one, though. It would be nice to win one.
Jason's asking, at what point in the process do we start the EasyBuy paperwork with Wagon Hill?
Yeah, so you're going to start that about the same time. I mean, you can do a pre-qual anytime. If you're within, even 60 days of thinking about signing a contract with us, getting started, definitely start talking to them then. But for sure, whenever you do that initial deposit, we're going to send everything over to them, the conditions of sale and all the different things, the plans. So yeah, there's no time really too soon to start talking with them, and then they'll let you know if it's time to start doing the paperwork, the application, and they will typically do one even for a pre-qual. They'll do an application. They do a very thorough pre-qualification. It's a little more robust than your average what a realtor would have someone do for a pre-qual. It's pretty thorough, and the reason for that is right, which is they want people to be sure that it's going to be they can get in this house. So that's something that you can go ahead and start, Jason. No reason not to.
Perfect. Rick is asking if you've ever heard of Omniblock.
I have, yeah. It's similar to insulated concrete forms. It's similar to that. That's not a product that we use because it's not a style that architectural style that we're accustomed to, and also not really any of our trades are used to working. We're pretty well a wood frame construction outfit. All of our, not just framers, obviously used to working with that, but all of our HVAC contractors, electricians, plumbers, and that is something to think about when you start to get into different building systems. To make sure that the builder you're talking to, that they have a trade base, because it's a cool product and it works real well and it's super awesome. But if they don't have a trade base that's accustomed to working with it, and they don't have a lot of knowledge, you could run into some serious problems with something like that. So just something to ask. It's a great product though.
Okay. Heather is asking, can we hire someone to do our dirt pad for us on our own, or do we have to go through Tilson? And what are y'all's requirements on a dirt pad being done in San Jacinto County?
Yeah, you can have it done. You probably can't have it done right now in San Jacinto County because it's too wet everywhere. But you can have it done. Our biggest one is, and I know this sounds like a silly thing to even say out loud, but I cannot tell you how many times it comes up and it's done wrong. The top of the pad has to be bigger than the house. You know, if the footprint of the home is 72 feet wide and 50 feet deep, something like that, overall, right? Frontest portion to backest portion, like not a perfect square, but the top of that pad, which is like a trapezoid, if you will, 3D, it's a pyramid with the top chopped off of it, right? The top of that has to be 10 feet bigger than the house all the way around. So if I 72 feet wide and 55, what did I say random? Like 72 feet wide, 55 feet deep. The top of the pad would need to be 82 feet wide and 65 feet deep. Does that make sense? Which means the bottom of the pad is going to have to be significantly larger than that, because we typically require a 3-to-1 slope, and a dirt contractor would know what I'm talking about with that. 2-to-1 would be a 45-degree angle, to give you an idea. But a 3-to-1 slope,
you don't want that.
It's a little steep. It's a little hard to mow. A little dangerous. But it can be done. But yeah, we want a 3-to-1 slope. So at the bottom of that, obviously, it's going to start out much larger than that, right? Because you're working your way up. So that's one. That's really the most important thing. It needs to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be compacted per se. It just depends how thick you're doing it. But the engineer, again, like I said before, they're probably going to have us dig through it anyway. So it's just a matter of getting it up, elevated above. But yeah, it's something that. But I just vet the contractor.
Right.
Ask them, you know, if they've done in other places, if you can go by and look at them, ask for references. You don't want somebody who does this kind of part-time. They work maybe for the county or for the co-op during the week, and on the weekends, this is not made up. We had a problem with one that literally he was going and borrowing the county equipment to build pads on the weekends. Borrowing, that sounds legal. Their permission. So that created an issue in that particular spot. So anyway, just vet them, but make good choices.
Okay. Richard is asking, how does the wood burning fireplace work? Is there a motor that helps blow the smoke up the chimney?
So that one, excuse me, Richard, sorry. That one there is actually, it's got its own combustible air. That's why there's very few wood burning fireplaces we can use anymore with spray foam. And they're all very sophisticated, self-contained, not going to have the issues like you've heard before with not drafting it. It's truly like a system, the chimney system, the firebox itself, those doors will seal. And that's it all just works. So it doesn't have to have a motor to get to exhaust out.
Okay. And Donna's saying, love the house, great selections all around. I agree. It's a beautiful home. So let's take a look at more of it. Y'all continue putting in your questions. We will answer them, but I just want to make sure everybody gets to look at it. So let's look at the pantry and the bedrooms and the study.
Oh, wow. I love this barn door area. This really looks great instead of just having the open space. That was a great idea that you came up with.
And then here we had, we decided to go with a pocket door to close off the pantry. That way we didn't take up any space with with the doorway. And then the laundry room's back there, just a typical laundry room with washer and dryer. We do have a freezer and a fridge back there, so it does hold a lot of stuff.
Plenty of space for storage in the pantry and food to be
eaten. And cooked.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go over to the other side where your boys' Jack and Jill bathroom is. Meredith, I am so excited for the Jack and Jill option that we did together for your boys. How are they loving the space?
They really enjoy having their own space here, and then whenever we walk through, their rooms are actually connected by the bathroom, which we liked because they have their own sink area. And then when we go right through here,
they have like their own little sink, which is great, their own shower area and commode area.
And lots of storage for them for all their towels and their boyish things. And then on the other side, the other boys has his own sink area as well, with his room connected there, and he has his nice large space right there as well.
Absolutely love that. They have their own spaces, no reason to get in each other's way. Love it.
And lots of windows too in there.
You want to go take a look at the study?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the workout room. We
Love
changed
this.
to a study to a workout room.
We deleted the closet over here in the corner that was adjacent to the master closet just to give a bigger space and make it really open for you guys.
And we chose to do the lighting that did not have a fan, so that we have lots of movement space for arms and for the kids to work out. We also have a half bath that's just on the outside of here for guests, or for if we're using this space. We don't have to access the other bedrooms for the bathrooms downstairs.
Wonderful, I love that.
Yeah, I really like the way we did the 2 windows up front, so when you're working out, you still got a view outside. So if I'm riding the bike, I can still look out. And,
You're beautiful.
again, no blinds or anything. Country living.
Don't need any privacy. Just trees there looking.
That's right.
And take a look up.
And want to take a look at the game room, man cave?
The man cave, yeah.
And the
Let's go.
bonus
Yeah.
room.
All right, so here is that utility room area and the pantry, and kind of zoomed in on what they did with this space. Like we were talking about, they sectioned it off, so it's got this barn door that just closes off the whole area, and then on the pantry they went with that pocket door, so that there wouldn't be another door in that space. And then where there would have been a door to the utility room, they left that open, so that they had room to put that fridge here as well without a door being in the way. And then they do have an outside building where they park their cars and everything. So they do have an entry off of their utility room to get access to that as well. And then in the bedrooms that they were talking about, so these are the boys' rooms. Very good size room for all of their boy stuff, for the technical term that we're using, but good space. And like you said, this is on the opposite side of the home from the master bedroom. Everybody has their own privacy. These bedrooms do not share a wall at all. And then they have that Jack and Jill bath, which I went ahead and pulled up the floor plan there because it's kind of hard. It is very functional in person, but a Jack and Jill bath is always more difficult to photograph and video because it's meant for one person at a time. And we're trying to get 3 people through with camera equipment. And, David's shy. He doesn't want you to see him in the mirror. So it's a little difficult to shoot around. But as you can see in the floor plan, this is one of the bedrooms, and they have that entry with their own sink, and then that connects into the room that's got the tub and the commode, and then the other boy as well, coming off of his bedroom, has his own sink as well, so you don't have to worry about what someone else is doing when you need to brush your teeth in the morning or all of that. Everybody has their own space for their own stuff, and so it's just good. And then that way they're self-contained. What I always liked about this with my daughters is I don't have a guest wandering into this bathroom either. Like it's off by itself. So you don't have to worry about what they've got going on in there. If it's not how you like it. And then this is the study that they're using as a workout space. And this is, on its own kind of at the front of the house. And like they mentioned, they're out, beauty of rural living. We don't need any blinds because we already have all the privacy that we need. Only people looking at us are the deer. So love that. And yeah, this space would have come with a closet like she was mentioning, but they actually absorbed that into their master closet because they didn't need it in here. That's kind of that part of the house. We have a couple questions and then we will finish up the tour. So let me cue those up. And we've got...
I have a correction to make before I get fact
Oh, okay.
check my
What are we
shelving.
correcting?
That are one of the wood burning fireplaces that we offer does require a fan kit, but it's not to get air out; it's to get
Oxygen in.
air into the room, actually, so to blow the heated air into the room. But it's a little bit more. It's called the Pioneer. It's got a fire brick refractory. Like it's a much more complex, robust dude than the Constitution, which is what's in here, and it does actually require a fan kit, but again, not to blow it up, but to blow out. So
Okay.
got you, Zach.
All right. So Jean is asking, do you have a fireplace option that can use both wood burning and also propane?
I don't believe we do. No, and I got a shout out to Zach Shell because
We phoned a friend.
Phone a friend. I'll say I phoned 2 friends and Zach responded. Justin did not. So right. All right. So no, we cannot put log lighters inside sealed wood burning units. So the Constitution or the Pioneer, we cannot. No, the IRC, the International Residential Code, will no longer allow for us to do that. I think we can still put gas stubs. We can still put gas stubs in outdoor fireplaces, but not inside. I don't. My guess would be because you're trying to have a log lighter of some sort. But the reason being is with the houses sealed up the way they are, there is no way to get the gas fumes out.
Right.
Up through there, and especially using spray foam. So
yeah, that makes
unfortunately,
sense.
you have to get one of them little fire starter log ball things, or there's always the old fashioned way, like cast away, get after it.
All right. Heather's saying, awesome. Thanks for the info. How does having a dirt pad put in come into play if we've had the soil testing done already? Will that affect anything as far as the site prep process?
No. I mean, it is nice. They may want to go out and just check it out after the fact, but they're going to want to know what the soil is like underneath that pad too. So that's an okay thing that's already been done.
Okay. Perfect.
It may affect some things in the site prep process, but it's not a showstopper or even a game changer for that matter.
Okay. All right. Well, let's check out the rest of this house. You guys keep putting your questions in.
So this is the new man room.
It looks incredible,
Yeah.
Tony. I love it. Wow.
So we actually opted to not have the garage and do this instead because we knew we were going to build a separate garage, with the metal building. So I took the opportunity to take this as the man room. And as you can see, it's just a lot of open space.
Big TV.
Big TV. Got access to
bathroom.
we got a half bath in there. We have the attic entrance on one side here and one over there. And it's really easy. So like when we're having internet or anything, they can access the attic very easily and it can go all the way around and come back in through this door if they wanted.
That's perfect.
So yeah, I really did enjoy having this area up here and
I'm really
having
glad.
the attic access.
I'm really glad at the designing phase we were able to make sure you had that access for the attic. It looks wonderful.
Thank
it
you.
looks amazing. I love everything that you have. Decorative. Thank you for your service. Thank you. And now we're gonna go look at the extended covered patio. That's the last part of the home tour. Super excited for us to go look at that.
Yep.
Let's go on.
So this is the back porch area that we had extended further out. This is where we sit a lot at night and just kind of relax, look at the stars or whatever. There's access to our master room is there. And that's pretty much it for the patio. Just goes with the country house style. And we really liked it.
You'll enjoy sitting back here, watching
Oh, yeah.
the wildlife.
Yeah.
This is such a great space. You have so much room to
Letting
hang
the
out with
dogs out.
family.
We let
Yes,
the dogs out, run
gorgeous.
around. It's nice and shaded. So that's a big plus, obviously.
Plenty of trees for
when it's hot
shade.
outside.
I love it. This is gorgeous. I love the cedar posts in the back. I love the color that you chose. It makes a nice contrast against the paint color. It is just beautiful. All right, guys, do y'all want to go wrap up and go into the kitchen?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for letting us tour your Brazoria C plan today. Out of everything, what do you think is the most important to you? What do you love?
I just love knowing that this is our forever home and it's beautiful and we picked it out and this is where we'll be forever.
Oh, I like that.
I like the man room.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on our Tilson tour, and we hope to make you one of our Tilson family members too. Thank you.
All right. So the man room. So we have an elevated man cave up in this space, and yeah, just a great room. You can see that he's using it mostly for TV viewing, so he's got those windows blacked out to make sure that there's nothing interfering with that, and that's a good option to go ahead and do if you're relying on that TV. But yeah, you've got a great just big open room. It does have that half bath. That comes with it as well. So you can just stay man caving all you want. And then like they were talking about, you do have that full door walk-in access into your attic, which is very, very convenient if you're needing to get anything done up there.
Yeah, I love the evolution of the battle dress uniforms over time in different places. I mean, obviously, thank you, Sergeant First Class in Hinojosa, for your service, and the big red one,
Yes.
the 1st Infantry Division. Very, very cool. That's a really, really cool just way to display those. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very nice. Thank you for your service. And then this is that rear covered porch. They did go with the extended covered porch option, so it is a little bit larger than the standard size. And yeah, just lots of space to really enjoy their land and be outdoors and just do all the things.
Gorgeous.
So, yeah, absolutely beautiful. All right. I do see a couple more questions.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna call this last call. So get your questions in, but we are happy to answer all of them for you. Jessica's saying this is a hypothetical question, but I want to have an idea of what to do if it happens. I ordered custom carpet, and I'm wondering what happens if the carpet is no longer available, or maybe the color option is not available by the time of install.
Burn the house down, Jessica. Nothing can be done.
Yeah, it's all over. That's it.
What do we do in those situations, Dawn?
So what's
It
gonna
never
happen,
happens
Jessica, is-
anyway. Does it ever happen?
Yeah, this never happens, but hypothetically,
Great
were this to happen, so you are going to get a phone call from us with the unfortunate news that your carpet is no longer available or not available in time or any of that. And what they're going to ask you to do is go back into the design center and pick something that is available. So we are not going to swap anything that you specifically chose in your house without telling you, getting a change order, and getting your permission for what we're replacing it with. So any of those color options that you selected, if something like this happens, we are going to reach out to you and have you pick a substitute for that. And that's what's going to happen. It does happen, not as often as it used to. Happened a lot during COVID. Is not happening as frequently now. But that's what's going to happen. We're just going to have you come in and pick out a different carpet, and we'll just move right along, and we'll pull out all of your other selections. So
we do some things, Jessica, to mitigate
sure.
against that. So, I mean, starting way up in the supply chain, I mean, our flooring contractor that we use, they update our samples. I know you picked a custom one. We release the work orders to them, like basically as soon as your house goes to construction, even though this is the very last thing to go in, they're going to get the work order that has the selection on there, and they are immediately going to, they may not order it right away, but they're going to immediately start sourcing it to make sure that it's still something
right.
they can get. So typically, especially with flooring, we usually have quite a bit of lead time if something is not going to be available. But also if they know there's going to be a shortage of it or there's a limited supply of it, they will go ahead and make the order and stock it and to get enough, for it to do your home. So it is something that we don't just, that you'll be glad to know this. We don't just wake up, the week before closing. We're like, oh my gosh, we need carpet.
Oh yeah, you need floors.
We should totally put that order in. Like, we don't do that. It's done. All those work orders are released when the home is released to construction, so that those suppliers and vendors have the lead time to work with. That's brick, stone, cabinets, flooring. I mean, all, plumbing fixtures, light fixtures. That's why we have those things selected up front. That's why we do the color selection so far in advance. And a lot of customers question that, but this is exactly why we do that.
All right.
Thank you,
And
Jessica.
then Margaret is asking, we already paid an engineering firm for the soil test and foundation design on one house, but I've changed builders to you now. A new house design just sent to your drafter. Will we have to redo the soil test again? I know we will need a new foundation design because it's a new house plan.
Yeah, that'll be up to the engineer. So we'll send what you have over to them, but they're most likely going to want to do their own because they are actually sister companies. So there's MLA Labs that does all the geotechnical investigation, and they're in the same building as MLAW, the engineering firm that we use to engineer the foundation designs. Because they have some pretty specific things that they like to test for. I know it sounds like a soil test, but we have found, and they for sure have found that's not always the case. So as long as they tested for all the things that MLA Labs would typically test for, but that may not have happened. But it's not a big deal if we need to get another one. Obviously, it's included in the price of the house anyway. There's not a tremendous amount of savings on the geotechnical investigation, but yeah, I know it could save time, but it's not that. It's really not. That's happening simultaneously when other things are going on anyway. So it's not that big of a hang up.
Okay, makes sense.
Cats and dogs that we can get in. Oh gosh.
And get the equipment out, which is
right.
The part. Jessica's saying, awesome. Thank you. It calms my worries. I was curious about when the sourcing started, so that makes sense as to why we choose everything so early.
Yeah. Look at that.
Awesome.
Like we've done it before. All right. So
just a couple times.
Yeah. Only because we've been bit before. Okay. We didn't just wake up and say, we're geniuses. Like, you know what we should do?
We did it wrong a lot before we got it right.
7 months ahead of time. This is what we're going to want. And maybe we'll get it. So, all right, folks, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Hinojosa, for sharing your home with us. It was beautiful. Thank you, Lacey, for conducting the walkthrough. That was awesome. Thanks, David, for doing the magic. One of these days, we're going to catch him in a shower glass or in a mirror. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's not going to let it happen, but one of these days, he's going to slip. I doubt it. Anyway, thank you. I got
one or two outtakes.
I'm not asking him for outtakes.
For any outtakes, yeah.
Nope. He is well armed with Eric outtakes. I am never challenging that man to an outtake contest. Not happening. He's got way too much dirt on me. So thank you, Dawn, for putting this together. This and the whole marketing team. We appreciate that very much. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you got something out of this. And it doesn't end here, obviously, right? We got a website. We got Instagram. We got Facebook. We got YouTube. We got 12 locations open. 12 and a half open 7 days a week. We have migrated from our Texas Grand Ranch location down to Republic Grand Ranch. So we are open in Republic. We're probably not landscaping today. Probably not happening.
No.
But anyway, that's something to consider. Anyway, go check that house out. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's amazing. We want to see you there. We can answer Yolanda's questions very easy.
Yeah,
right now.
just one more question. Which house has the ultimate big pantry space? I'm going to go with Paladuro.
Paladuro, and I'd put the Lone Star up there too.
Yeah, Lone Star, I couldn't remember what the standard pantry looks like. The one in the model for sure, because we got a butler's pantry with appliances in it, and then we got a pantry
up in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a little butler that jumps out and starts serving you something. I don't have no idea what else.
He microwaves your stuff because that's where the microwave is.
That's true. That's where the microwave is. Yeah. So yeah, but the Paladuro probably stock is the largest. Great question. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Talk to the community here. Go out to our in-person seminars. They're very informative, and you get to mix it up with other Tilson folk, which is nice. There's the best source of information is you folks right here. You got great information, and we found that you will help one another. Like Yesenia doesn't have she has to go to Brian now. Like there is no there's no option. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We hope it's helpful for you. We hope you go engage with other content that we have so you can get more information, and we really soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.